Uh, Miles Morales, a film in live action, not animated, is happening. It's it's been a long time coming. It's been a long, long time coming, but it's finally
At
gonna
least you
happen.
know it can't be the Spider-Verse version of Miles.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
No, it's
they
just
wrote it where he literally can't come. There was no excuses, Amy Pascal.
it was funny with the memes where it's like, was it? You know, it was me in 2026 watching Secret Wars and seeing Miles have a cheeseburger and knowing what's about to happen.
Oh.
So I want to kind of combine this in like two-part conversation because we just got that confirmation that if you listen to the Spanish audio track for No Way Home distinctly with the actual captions, Miles and his family are neighbors to Peter Parker in the MCU.
Man can't even remember his parents' name, goddamn.
Well, I mean Rio and Jefferson, right?
There you go, there you go.
I mean, yeah, fine. I'll state them. I'll state them next time for clarity's sake. But so they live next door to him. That was obviously intentionally in there. They kept it in there. It's our hopes and dreams that this is a combined effort with Marvel Studios and Sony, because I still don't trust Sony on their own in live action.
If they want it to be successful, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to be honest. If they wanted that to be that big of a deal, it would have been way before now.
Because I like from like Sony Pictures, I don't trust them to do anything correctly. that's the weird thing. Is like I was like, I'll listen in on what like Sony Animation is doing, but when it comes to Sony Pictures as a whole, I don't trust them to do anything really.
Well, here's the question, right? Let's just say this is them setting up for Miles, right?
Right.
It's obviously in the MCU.
Yeah.
So does that mean it's the same deal as like the Homecoming movies?
That would be the ultimate hope, right?
Yeah.
So it's like it's more Marvel doing it than it is Sony.
Yeah, it's like potentially, because what the deal usually was with Peter and any other establishing Spider person in that deal. So
yeah,
so I can't take a Miles movie where it's just a rehash of Venom 1.
And you say that, and the ultimate problem here arises. The reason the animated side, Spider-Verse, has more freedom is because the budget is $100 million and only $220 million with marketing. A live-action Miles Morales film comparable to every other Spider-Man film is going to be 200 to 250 mil. So Sony is automatically going to have more suits, more hands in the pie. Avi Arad is contractually obligated to be on board with any Sony live-action film that's not Marvel Studios. It's already downhill. Like, it needs to be a Marvel joint production or I lose hope. That's my sort of...
I feel like Sony would play it safe and ask for Marvel's help because they've been doing that a lot more lately because they're like, look, Morbius kind of flopped.
Yeah.
The Bad Bunny movie's not going to happen. They're already giving up some hope.
Dude, Kraven's going to flop.
Kraven is vegan. Sorry to the vegan listeners, but
the
ultimate hunter.
The ultimate evil in the universe, a vegan. What are you doing?
I mean, Scott Pilgrim taught me vegans are bad, so.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's like, and then, because I see people's like, oh, Sony should just, like, see, this is what happens when Sony keeps the Spider-Man rights. Look how good the movies is. I was like, Sony didn't even care about the first movie.
Yeah.
They threw it out there.
It's crazy. It's kind of crazy. I don't know, like, we're obviously going to hear more. They know they actively got something. If I was to lay out a timetable, like, we are getting Beyond the Spider-Verse in March of next year. And if you look at the upcoming... Yeah, hopefully, yeah. There might be delays. We'll see, but they're already, announced, hey, we're working on Spider-Man 4 with Marvel, but the writer's strike put that in a... So we're probably getting Miles Morales in 4 years in live action.
Yeah.
And
because I think like in one of the interviews, a couple of the actors said that like they just finished their lines like 3 weeks before premiere, which makes sense when some of the copies of the Across the Spider-Verse had technical issues.
Mm-hmm.
Especially
and also that one scene in like the Spider Society thing took 4 years to finish.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I would expect a delay into probably the summer of 2024.
I could see it. Whatever happens though, let them take their time because it showed that it was smart to delay this film and give it more time and expand the themes in it instead of rushing it out and doing part 1, part 2 technically. So, I mean, I'm hopeful for whatever they decide to do with Miles. I just hope that they're smart enough to figure out that, hey, maybe Miles is going to need a mentor, and guess what? We perfectly got one now. So, like...
what they're going to make Peter B. Parker?
What is that? That's Tom Holland? He's going to become Peter B. Parker?
Because at every turn I keep seeing people, for whatever reason, they want Tobey Maguire back.
Oh! No! No!
Yeah, it's you can be Peter B. Parker. He can do it. And I'm like, no.
Look, no. If you're gonna get anyone for live action Peter B. Parker, it's Jake Johnson.
Well, honestly, I could also see them doing Andrew Garfield becoming that
Andrew Garfield. Honestly, kind of makes sense. This man killed all his villains in his universe.
You have Jake Johnson. Do not rob Jake Johnson of his chance to wear the suit and the sweatpants.
Just remember. Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man said he went to a dark place, so...
They're all gone, bro. They're all gone. Sinister Six done.
So, Miles, here's what you do. You figure out who the villain is, and you just murder him. What?
I mean, he done that in the first movie. You know, didn't Kingpin die in the first one? I can't.
Wait, you're talking about Spider-Verse?
Yeah, I can't remember.
No, he. I mean, I just assume he just went to another dimension.
Yeah, but then he's glitching and his atoms are getting like ripped out of him.
But what about female Dr. Octopus? Wouldn't she kind of be with him too, to like, because she knows what the deal is?
Well, I mean, they're gonna
can't remember where she ended up.
I think they'll come back, probably beyond the Spider-Verse, be a villain team
to fluff up the second act of the sequel.
Yeah. That makes sense. Well, I suppose that's kind of what we got to say right now about Miles and this whole thing. Obviously, we're going to come back to this because rest assured, by the time Kraven comes out, when those press rounds start, they'll be teasing more Spider-Man and making more announcements. Okay. That's what they do.
For those who can't remember, Kingpin survived and was unconscious, and Miles wiped him up.
Well,
it's really bad. I literally watched that movie over the weekend. Like,
I can't remember. Well, there we go.